There are 6 altcoins that I'm gonna buy as soon as the market has a good pullback. Before that happens, I'm gonna sell though. And in this video, I would like to be a little bit more specific about what I'm going to sell and what I'm going to buy and when. So a couple of videos ago, I think the day before yesterday, I made a video saying that, I'm not going to repeat that video, of course, exactly, but we spoke about the Bitcoin cycles, how far we usually move up before the halving, and how far we usually go down before the halving. This time, I spoke about the fact that on average from the bottom, Bitcoin should go up towards $52,000, give or take. When it hits like 48, 49, because like I said, I could be wrong with a couple of K, I start to sell some positions, kind of half of my holdings. And then when the market has a good pullback, which is an average of 40%, so back to like 30K, I'm going to buy back in. Now, I got a lot of comments like, oh no, you won't get a pullback. This time is going to be different because I want so. I don't know why. You know, I'm betting on the fact that like so far the cycle is doing the same thing as all the other cycles. So I am also betting on the fact that the coming months won't be any different. And if we don't get a pullback, I also said like I don't care really, because I have my money in launch pads and I can allocate my money into pre-sales, IDOs, startups, private sales, etc. So I can always allocate my money somewhere. If you are in the same position, you can definitely choose to look at something like that as well. But what am I going to sell when I'm going to buy back what? Let's take a look at that. And this is not really even that prepared though, but I at least have a list of 6 altcoins which I'm going to buy. Maybe 7, and that doesn't necessarily mean that has to be a list that you should look into as well. But for example, there are altcoins on that list that I had that I pulled off a 4x, for example, and I took my profits already, right? So then I want to buy them back lower as well. So I'm waiting for Bitcoin to go to 48, 49, give or take. And then I'm going to sell some of my Bitcoin. Why? Well, Bitcoin, again, just did it did kind of a 3x in the pre-halving year. Yeah, again, if you look what Bitcoin does in the pre-halving year, it did a 4.5x right here, and it came all the way down. Here in the pre-halving year, it went up 2x, and it came all the way down. Here in the pre-halving year, it did a 3.5x, and it came down with like $7 back to $3, so half of it as well, right? So Bitcoin always has good pullbacks, and I want to have more Bitcoin, of course. It's the only store of value in crypto, and the only one that we know is here to stay. All the other cryptos, we can speculate on that, but most altcoins are fucking shit. Like what do we need them for, really? There's so many, like Uniswap, just calling something, right? Hey, we need Uniswap, or Uniswap is a good product, but what do we need the token for? Bullshit. We do not need it. Like, there are so many altcoins that have great products, but we don't need a token. Right? And yeah, therefore the altcoin market is and stays a little risky to me. Now, in a bull market, hey, nobody cares about, you know, token vesting, about use case, this and that. It's just about momentum, hype, and price movement, right? So let's play that game by then. But before the halving, I'm gonna stay skeptical. So I'm gonna sell a part of my Bitcoin. The rest, I will keep that to put it into altcoins later. As I said before, the Bitcoin dominance is going up, and therefore I've been dollar costing into Bitcoin to buy altcoins back with. Like, and if you look, altcoins, they just made a new low on their Bitcoin pair. So whatever that altcoins are doing fine against the dollar pair, yeah, it's because Bitcoin is going up, right? So why not just be in Bitcoin in the first place? Much safer. But altcoins on the Bitcoin pair, hey, they just made a new low. So we can already buy the low on altcoins right now with Bitcoin. That's beautiful, right? So therefore, I always want to have some Bitcoin. Now, the rest of what I'm going to sell, might not be that interesting to you, because for me it depends on what I have and how much money I've made with that. For example, Avalanche, I had a very good entry in Avalanche, and I'm definitely gonna sell some. I do think that if we do take a look at Avalanche, it could run towards like $30. And why do I say so? Well, it broke out of this big range that we have been in for a long time, for since like more than a year already, and this was resistance. And we've been knocking on resistance door for a while already, and it now broke out. Also, if we take a look at Fibonacci, then it shows that the 0.382 comes in at around $31, but it also lines up with this piece of resistance right here and this little support right here. So also makes a lot of sense. Therefore, I think that, hey, I'm gonna let AVAX ride. If it gets to like $30, maybe even to the 0.618, 34, I'm not selling all my positions and all at once. I'm like, you have to DCA in and DCA out, right? And if it gets there, I'm gonna sell half of my AVAX. Now, some people say like, it's stupid to sell right before the halving and we get an ETF coming, etc. Bro, let me tell you this. ETF is for 90% priced in already. I can guarantee you that. Why do you think we got the fake ETF news? Right? When the news came out, ETF is approved, and 3 minutes later it turned out it was bullshit. But we got a pump, and we sustained that pump. And from there we kept on pumping. People know that an ETF is kind of like coming, right? I'm very white, by the way. Okay, nothing to do about it. I can adjust my lights, but I can also have better breakfast. But we know that an ETF is coming, and a lot of people are anticipating on that. And that's one of the reasons, combined with the fact that the halving is coming up in 4 months, that Bitcoin is now pumping so hard. And I don't think it's going to be that big of a sell, buy the rumor, sell the news event. But I do think that the real money that comes from the ETFs won't happen overnight. That will happen linear. Once these institutions really start investing, and they won't go in all at once, right? They will also just DCA. There is way too much money to get into crypto for them. So that's coming quite, like, I'm quite positive that an ETF is coming. Like, if you check like the odds, then it's really in our favor. But that's pretty much priced in right now. And then again, it's just news, right? But I hate to trade the news, because if you were trading news in these cycles, you would have gotten wrecked, man. If you trade the cycles and completely ignored every piece of news, then you would have done better than anybody else. It's just what it is. Because you can say whatever you want. We have a top, end of 2013, end of 2017, end of 2021. Wow, what a coincidence. We had so much great news right then. And we had the bottom, end 2014, end 2018, end 2022. Oh, we had so much bad news, right? Fuck the news. Just know, like, hey, end of 2022 is coming up. We should buy, right? And then you would have been fine. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now as well. Just following the cycles. And I'm not betting my money on, wow, you know, the last 13 years has been exactly the same, but the coming 4 months is going to be completely different. Like, no, I don't know. Let's not do that completely, right? Hey, and that's what I do. I'm not saying you should do that, but that's what I do. So far, 13 out of the 13 years, it has worked. Like I said, let's throw some eggs in the basket that it will also work for the coming 4 months, right? It's not that weird. So back to what I was saying. I will sell some AVAX, right? AVAX is, I have a good position in AVAX right now. It's really because I bought it really cheap. And I've said many times on the channel, hey, I'm not buying big into altcoins. But what I did do is buy a little bit with my spare money. And that spare money is now just worth a lot, as a lot of altcoins really went up hard, right? I also built a Moonshot portfolio. If you are a member of the Patreon, there is a link down below. You can see that portfolio. That portfolio I gained with like over 30K in a month. And I'm just reshuffling that portfolio. So it's all free money that I'm playing with, kind of. And at a certain point, yeah, you should take profits though. Beam is something that I will take some profits on. I bought Beam quite cheap as well, and I love this project. And this is also one that I will buy back. However, I am for now not putting a price at this because Beam is in price discovery mode. And hey, it could go maybe to 1.7 cents, but for all we know, it goes to 6 cents. I don't know. This is something that I will take a look at as soon as Bitcoin has hit the target. And then look how this chart is looking like. What else am I going to sell? I'm not going to sell my, for example, Seedify tokens. I'm not selling my Launchpad tokens at all. One, because they are locked, I can't. But two, I don't need to. I'm making more money by participating in the actual pre-sales that you can participate on for holding these tokens than holding the token itself. So yeah, it did a 5x. But it doesn't matter. These pre-sales make 50x's weekly in a bull market. So I will never, in this like bull market, sell my Launchpad tokens. It makes absolutely 0 sense to do so. What else am I selling? Yeah, just some small crap, really. But I am maybe selling some run-in chain. I had a very good entry on this one as well, and it's now really topping out. And I want to see how this goes and how this performs. But maybe it's like it has a long way to go, and it can easily double, maybe even in price from here. But this ran hard, so that's something that I'm gonna sell. I look at my portfolio in the meantime. My Veracity is something that I'm going to sell. Again, for all these coins go that I have a big position already, and I made some good profits, so I have to take those. Yeah, and my complete Moonshot portfolio as well, by the way. Superverse, I already sold this at 55, 70, 63 and 70 cents. So I scaled out of this, but I bought at 9 cents, right? So it might go to $1. To be honest, I won't be surprised if it goes to $1. But on the other hand, I don't want to make a 6x and see it go down again and be like, yeah, okay, that was for nothing, right? You can always look back at crypto and be like, I could have had more, but that way you will never be satisfied. So my Superverse is something that I've sold. This is also a coin that I will buy back. For sure. And I think that this area of around like 24, 18 cents is a good level to buy back. And it sounds far away, but don't get it wrong. Like if Seedify, I'm looking at Seedify. If Bitcoin has a correction back to 30K, and the dominance keeps on going up like we did last time, altcoins can take a hit of at least 50%. And that would put Superverse around that target already, right? So that's definitely something that I will be buying back by then. What else am I... My IMX, by the way, maybe that I'm selling this. This is already sitting at big resistance right now. So this looks like something like, okay, if this is the range, right? The downside of the range, upside, downside, upside. It might be a good trade to sell it right now and maybe buy back here at around 90 cents. But yeah, it's the question. I mean, like same scenario now breaks out, right? Therefore, never like sell all your positions in this kind of market. Hey, and why am I selling in the first place? Well, I said that in yesterday's or the day before yesterday's video. Like I said, it probably tops out somewhere here and goes back to around 30K before the bull market starts. And I might be completely wrong, okay? That it might really not happen for sure. But in that video, we took a look at the averages, how Bitcoin moves, and that happened every time so far, right? So, hey, not weird to think that it also happens this time, especially since this cycle so far is really the same as the rest. And therefore, you can choose to like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna, hold on to my positions until the bull market, and you will be fine probably. But you can also say like, hey, I'm selling some and buying back lower to have a way bigger position for when the bull market really starts. And I think we can get way more out of this. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. What I'm also buying when the market dips is, I wrote it down, so we spoke about super. IMX is what I will buy back as well. IMX is gonna be fucking huge, 100%. It is already high cap, right? If you look at IMX, so it's it's a layer 2 blockchain for crypto gaming. It's $1.8 billion valuation. The all-time high was not that different. The all-time high was sitting at 1.7. So, hey, IMX made a new all-time high, right? You can look at the price and be like, yeah, well, you know, it came from $9. Yeah, but less tokens back then, right? Market cap, it's already higher. So this has already made a all-time high. Or CoinGecko doesn't have it together. Let's confirm this real quick on CoinMarketCap to just see if it's actually true what I'm saying, because sometimes CoinGecko has the information not correct. Yeah, it did. So we have a new all-time high on IMX. So it would be maybe wise to, you know, sell something and buy it back later. But I think IMX is going to be huge with more than 200 games coming out on IMX. Crypto gaming going to be freaking big. It's going to be really huge. Yeah, this is a no-brainer for me for the coming bull market. Really, it's really a no-brainer. So that's what I want to buy back. Also, what I'm going to buy back, I haven't spoke about this that much, but I will do more, is Spartadex. I will make more videos about Spartadex, but I said like, hey guys, I'm a lot into launchpads. Spartadex is a gamified DEX on Arbitrum. This is how it kind of looks like. So it's still pretty small, and it's understandable because they just knew. But they also, so they try to be like, try to do it like DeFi Kingdoms, right? And we all know how incredible huge that was. Well, this is an Arbitrum. A way more interesting chain than Harmony One back then. What they also did is they started a launchpad, and they were the exclusive launchpad that released G-Swift, GameSwift. They are close with the GameSwift founder, therefore they could have done it exclusively. We all know GameSwift blew up, big hype, good project, and they have way more projects coming to their launchpad, and they're gonna expand. And like I said, I will do another video. I spoke to the founder of Spartadex, really cool guy. Super vision. I love what they are building, and I think this has huge potential, especially if you look that the market cap is $10 million right now. And remember, this is more than a launchpad, right? But if you, for example, look at CeDeFi has a market cap of $150 million. So when you compare it to CeDeFi, and I know comparing to CeDeFi is comparing to the GOAT, okay? But still, if you compare it to CeDeFi, they have 15x potential from where CeDeFi is right now. And I think CeDeFi will be way bigger in the bull market. So could Spartadex be actually a project that can do a 50x from here? Hey, it could. And yeah, you have to have a lot of tokens to get an allocation in the Spartadex Launchpad, and it's quite expensive if the price really goes up then. But therefore, it's good to be early. And they have a lot of interesting gamified projects coming to their Launchpad. And hey, gaming Launchpads, it's the easiest way to make money in crypto. Like, there is no easier way than this. It's the crypto cheat code, right? And good Launchpads are, like, people are gonna like want that, and this is still affordable, like $10 million market cap, very affordable. So this is something that I want. I want to have more tokens, but yeah, the price, it ran like a lot of things though, but it came from 9 cents to 60 cents, so it did a clean 6x, more than a 6x, almost a 7x. And I feel like, okay, I hope there will be a pullback. Hey, and if not, then not. Like, don't get emotional over the things that you might miss out on, right? That's gonna wreck you in crypto. So if it does go down, I'm gonna be there. If it does go up, fuck it, I have my holdings and I'll be fine as well. What I will also buy is Falcon Forged. Foco Forged is one of the better crypto gaming projects as well. I think this is an amazing project that can, price-wise, easily can go back to the all-time high of $50. I had my position. My average entry was around $3. To be honest, I've sold around 5 and slightly over 5, like 580. It's now 7, right? You didn't time the exact top, loser. Yeah, no, that's not what we're trying to do right here, of course. Foco Forge is a kind of project that I feel like, yeah, this is for the long term a really good hold, and therefore I traded it a little bit. This was a really easy trade, right? Buy whenever it was at the lower side of the range, sell when it was at the top of the range. I had a big fat free bag of Foco Forge because of that trade. So hey, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. So I've sold the rest right here. I still have a little left. Nothing too crazy. Whenever it goes back to around 530, I'm gonna buy it back though, because it's shown the strength right now. And if it does fall below this support right here, which I doubt though, but then I'm definitely in more. It just has to fall 25%. That's pretty likely to happen though. Ronin chain is something that I will buy back. Why Ronin chain? Again, I'm betting on crypto gaming, and I'm mostly betting on the infrastructures, the layer ones, the studios, and in this case layer one. And this has Axie, this has Pixels, this has the most mainstream games. It's Ronin, IMX, and Avalanche. These are the biggest chains for crypto gaming, 100%. Solana as well, but not like like Ronin and IMAX and AVAX. This is something that I definitely want to have. But yeah, if you look at the price right now, it more now looks like, okay, good selling opportunity. I mean, you can draw this line right here. It's perfect, right? We had this little wick above it, but for the rest, sitting at some big resistance right now. Might break again, it might break, but on the other hand, it's quite obvious this level right here. I will buy this back at around 90 cents. I'm probably already at 116. I'm gonna just slowly DCA into this. The last one, yeah, I think the last one is, do I have it in my list right here? Yeah, Senate. All right, everybody is bullish about Sidus, and you should, because look at this fucking chart, crazy. But Senate is way more interesting if you ask me. Sidus is sitting at a $130 million market cap at the moment. Really high cap, but I love what they are doing, by the way. This project looks phenomenal, and the team knows what they are doing. But then again, Senate is the governance token, and the governance tokens usually are way better buy, and this is way more low cap. Now, I felt like lately, I bought too late though, but I felt like, you know what, Sidus is doing great. Senate was running behind a little bit. I said, you know what, I'm gonna buy $2,000 worth of Senate just to see how it goes. It's now worth $4,000. So, you know, I doubled, right? I didn't get a clean 7x. I was way too late to this though. But I got a 2x out of this. And now I feel like maybe take some profits on this, because I think it has a lot of potential and it could easily surpass $1, right? We're not that far from that though. But on the other hand, if you look like, hey, it started from like 1.9 cents. It's now sitting at 30 cents. Like it did absolutely crazy. It did a 16x over the last 2 months, right? 16x. Yeah, these kind of things usually go down. So I at least want to take my initial investment out and let the rest ride. Like there's no way of losing in that case. But this is something that I would definitely buy back. Also, because let me take a look right here. I think they tweeted something really interesting. Sidus Heroes. Was it a tweet? Yeah, look at this. Prepare your Senate tokens as we gear up for an absolute crucial Thursday vote on the launch of our groundbreaking Sidus Launchpad. Like, Hey, a lot of projects start launch pads, and I'm usually quite skeptical about this. But Sidus already, like, they prove themselves, like they are doing it right. So if they start a launch pad, I want to be there. So yeah, that's a good reason to maybe not sell my Senate tokens. I don't know. I like it. I don't know why I don't follow these guys, but yeah, really good, really good. And then these are the main projects that I'm gonna buy back later. There are some other projects, like probably I will buy some Solana, but only if it really has a big pullback, because the risk reward on Solana doesn't really make sense to me at this point. It's way too high right now. Could it go to its all-time high and do a 5x or so? Yeah, probably. But hey, it's already so high cap, and it already did a 8x. So I feel like, yeah, why buy this right now, right? Doesn't make any sense. And another one that I will scoop up some more on is Games for a Living. If it gets back to 3 cents, if not, then not. I'm gonna buy it. I don't give a fuck. But that's what I'm looking at right now. And this whole watch list right here is a watch list with good projects. And the things that I'm not buying are things like Miria, for example. Like, I mean, look at this. This ran so hard. I'm just not buying this right now. And I run a node, so I don't care. I get my tokens anyway. But I'm not chasing the pumps too much. So yeah, that's kind of it. And there will probably be more tokens that I will buy. I have taken some good projects, profits on some projects. If I look at my moonshot portfolio, for example, it's completely free, and yeah, this portfolio is insane how this went. But playable games, for example, ran so hard, but I have made it 3.5x on it, right? So I'm fine. G Swift made a 3.5x on it, so I'm fine. Virtual Poker Points made it 3.5x. I have a lot of projects. Compete did really well, 3.5x. A lot of projects that I feel like, hey, they are decent, they are nice, but I'm only buying them back if they really have a big, good pullback. So yeah, I want to leave it here. Gala, something that I don't really, I'm not so interested. Lower lows, lower highs, really weak chart. A lot of competition for Gala these days. Super high cap, like $700 million market cap. Yeah, it's not for me. It's not for me. I'd rather buy Volker Forge kind of stuff. Want to leave it right here. If you like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Turn the bell notification on. If you do have any questions, let me know in the comments. And see you later. Bye.